Hi, guys, and thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Sania. I am your senior support specialist here to take you through the client dispute manager software for today. So I do hope you are all doing good today. We're going to jump into our training, and I hope you have some questions for me, and we'll just go ahead. A regular, yes, Pat, go ahead and post it in the chat. Let me know how you are doing so far. If you want to, just to say hi to everybody, you could go ahead and unmute real quick while I share my screen and we just jump into our training. Today, we are going to cover automations, and hopefully you do have some questions for me where that is concerned. If you have other questions other than automations, don't hesitate to let me know. And of course, we are about to start. So when you come into the software, this is going to be the first thing that you see. This is our home/dashboard screen. Here, we have our customers overview. This gives you a breakdown of how many customers you have in the dispute process. That breakdown as well, whether those accounts that you have, they're in dispute, repaired, or deleted, or they're with a creditor or collector. Of course, you have the business growth. So of course, you want to go ahead and check that. And if you're doing it outside of the software, I do hope you are tracking that. But if you're doing it inside of the software, you want to go ahead to make sure you have updated those information so it reflects on your dashboard for your payments, okay? And then whenever there's any new updates, you want to check this green pop-up box here, and you just go ahead and read it. This is whenever there's any new updates, we want to let you know. Go ahead and open it up, read it. You do get it in your email, but it's always easier for you to come into your software to see that update here, right? And of course, you do have the option to schedule a 30-minute walkthrough session with one of our specialists. You also have the daily training. For those that are new, you want to go ahead and watch the Getting Started video. So previously, we talked about onboarding and disputing. Remember, if you're adding in your customers, you have the Add Quick Lead or the new customer button here where you can add your customers in. So it's important that you go ahead and do your onboarding process. I know some of you have a different process when it comes to setting up. That's totally fine. You just need to find the right onboarding strategy that's going to work for you. If it is that you're doing it automatically, meaning that you're automating your process, they're coming from your website, or you have Zapier set up and they're going to come from some platform that you have, let's say, for example, Facebook or something like that, you have that automation set up where they will be coming in that route, right? So you have different ways of onboarding your clients. Some people, when they do add their clients in, they request that they get the credit monitoring details so that they can get the report so that they can move on to step 2, which is to do the credit analysis. Then they would come back to send the contract once they have decided which contract works for the customer. And then, of course, you want to move on to step 3, which is the disputing. We did discuss that a little yesterday. Remember your disputing process. I like to tell you, go ahead and do your plan of action. So at least you can say, okay, this is who I need to go ahead to dispute with. If it's the creditor, collector, credit bureau, you're deciding that. Is it a case that I need to do a pay for deletion? Do I need to send over this particular account to a lawyer? So all of that is incorporated probably in the onboarding process. I would say yes. Yes, because of course you want to make sure that you get as much information from the customer. You want to inform the customer why they're actually needing to go through all of this. And it also helps them to get a better understanding of what the process is going to look like, right? So of course, please make sure that you set up your onboarding process. You have to find a process that works for you. Go ahead and do your disputing, and then you go from there, right? Now, let's say we have all of that covered. We have all of our clients. We're getting them in, coming in like a steady flow of customers, but we want to automate our process. We want to scale our business. You have different options that you can utilize. Now, if you're new, of course, this might not apply for you just yet, because you might be saying, oh, I'm not ready just yet to get other platforms to integrate. That sounds like a lot of work. But I don't want you to knock it, because what I want you to do is in future is to make your process easier, right? So when it comes to the onboarding and for the automation setup, you need to have a system in place that's going to help you. Let's say they're coming from your website. That's an automation that you could have set up so that you don't have to do too much work. If it is that you do have your website, here's a thing that you can think about is, okay, so they're coming to my website. What is it that I want for them to do when they come to my website? Is it that they're just going to come to get information about my service? Of course, that's good, but I would want for you to have this part of your branding to be not just for the branding, but the marketing aspect of it to be streamlined, so that if anybody goes to your website, let's say a lead goes to your website, you're capturing that lead, even if they're not ready just yet, right? So you should have some kind of emailing system set up on your website. You also want to incorporate a form. So that's what I want you to think about as well. Remember your social media handles. Please put it up there, whether it's your, well, not your personal, I would prefer not your personal, but your business social media handles. You can go ahead and put it up. Of course, you want to put your links for your clients portal and affiliates portal. Let's say you have talked to your client, they're active, or your affiliates. You can quickly say, oh, just go to my website and log in to your portal. So you could go ahead and add in the information there, right? Now, this also allows you to direct traffic to your website. But other than that, you want to make sure that you are providing as much information as you possibly can. Your information of how they can reach you should be there. Of course, the capture system and the forms, those are important. I know most of you would have seen where if you go to a particular website, you'll see a pop-up come and it would ask, okay, do you want to get this? Go ahead and put your email in there. That is something similar to what an email capturing system would look like, right? Now, the whole point of you setting up something like that is so that you can nurture those leads that's coming to you, right? They gave you permission by giving the information, the email to you, so you can go ahead and nurture them, right? We might not get to sell on the first try. That's totally fine. I don't want you to think that that's what you're supposed to do. I just want you to get into the habit of nurturing that person so that they can get to know you. And then eventually you can do a sale in the middle or probably at the ending of your marketing. All right, so that is important. Let me just pause right here. So I see some persons coming in. I hope you're all good. Do I have any questions so far? Any questions about this or anything else that you have on your mind? Any questions? Go ahead and unmute, or you could post it in the chat. All good? All right, perfect, perfect. Yes, so please remember, we want to scale our business as much as possible. We want to automate our process as much as possible. So it's important that you have your website set up. I'm talking about also getting your lead forms connected. Remember, you have different persons that are coming onto your website. It could be that a lead is coming on. They just want to find out a little bit more information. They're not ready just yet. So you have the ability to add a form underneath your affiliate / website lead form. Let's say they're not ready just yet, right, for your contract, or they don't know anything that much about your business, but you decided, okay, let's set up a free consultation so we can get to know each other, right? You want to go ahead and build a form. Of course, you want to make sure that your colors, your color schemes are tying in with your website. And once you have edited, that's the height, the width, everything looks good. Another thing that I want to remind you to do is to add your schedulers. If you're not going to add it on your websites, you can add it onto your website lead form so that right after they have submitted their information, they can go ahead and set up an appointment with you, right? That's an easy way for you to kind of have them commit to talking to you, and also to bypass too much time passing of you reaching out to them, because most of the time we set this up and we might not have seen them until a day or two, we want to go ahead to have them feel, okay, so we have an appointment, we're good to go, let's go ahead and do that. So once they fill out that information and they hit submit, I would love it if you have your schedulers right after so that they can go ahead to sign up for the best time that you can do a consultation with them, right? So this is one form that you can integrate into your website. Of course, remember, you don't know who's coming to your website. It could be a potential client. They might not be ready until 6 months down the line. It doesn't matter. You just want to get them on board so you can go ahead and nurture them. And from there, you work that, right? So you have this generic form that you can add. Those of you who do have one of our templates, please bear in mind that, let's say you do have a website and you found that you had a form, you have to bear in mind that whenever that website goes live, this form, without it being touched by the webmaster, it means that whenever the client or the lead signs up, it's going to your email. So what I recommend that you do, if you're going to use the forms, you can replicate that one. Let's say you don't want to change it. You want to go ahead to customize it exactly to how it's on one of your templates or one of our templates. You can go ahead and replicate this. You just need to make sure that you get the right height, color, and the text that you want. Of course, add the schedulers there so that whenever they're signing up, you're getting the notification in your software that they have signed up here. You get the email, and of course, they'll be added into the system, and then you can work from there, right? Now, what goes hand in hand with that is another automation that you could have set up. Let's say you do have Zapier. Is with Zapier, you could have had ActiveCampaign or whatever emailing nurturing system that you have outside of the software. You could have incorporated that. So whenever they came from your website, they're going into the software, they're going over from your scheduler, possibly into your nurturing system. So that is an automation that you can look for. So instead of you having to do all of that, that's a task that you could have done with an automation that you would have set up, right? So I want you to think about those little things to make your job so much easier so you don't have to do too much. So it's important that you decide, okay, on my website, what do I want it to look like? Set up the task, look in the Zapier to see what are the possibilities, and then you go from there. All right. Do I have any questions so far? All good? All right. I think we're good. Yes. Okay. All right. So this is one form that you could have added. There's another form that you could also add on your website. You want to go to company and you want to go to client auto sign up. Once you go there, what you want to do is you want to look for the bill sign up form to the right hand side. This is another form, right? But this one is more advanced because let's say your lead does go to your website, they can decide, okay, this is the contract that I want to use, right? So what they could do is they could click on this and they would get the contract. This means that you're basically bypassing step one of adding them into the system because automatically the contract would have been sent to them. Your next step as the admin would be to go ahead to do your credit analysis. So that's an automation that would have been set up through this particular form, right? So of course you need to make sure that you customize your colors, add the right text, make sure that you have someone to just look over it to make sure that the font looks right, colors look right, that it ties in with your colors. If you can, add your schedulers there as well. And then you're just grabbing that code and you're putting it in the back end of your website. Now, I do know some of you have different website backends. Once you do understand how to do it, I want you to get familiar with going into the backend just in case you need to change your price or you need to do anything. But if you're not there just yet, you can always get a webmaster to help you to do your changes. But once you do get the hang of it, it really becomes easy. Every time you get a promo, don't forget to also add it in here and just put the checkbox of when or what contracts you want to show at that particular time, right? Once you go ahead and do that, color text, put the right box that you want, phone fill, look at the colors, make sure that they tie in. You are good to go with that setup. This one, as I said, it's more advanced because this allows you to have the customer go in and choose the contract prices that you want, and then you can go from there, right? Now, I know some of you are going to say, I prefer to use the other form as opposed to this one because I could get a lead that might be ready and they go ahead and they sign up and they choose a particular contract, and the work that I'm supposed to do is a little bit more than what I have that they have chosen, right? So you just have to decide if it's both of them that you're going to use or it's just one or the other. It's up to you. Once you go ahead and decide that, just make sure that you test it to make sure that it works. You want to automate the process as much as possible, and then you go from there. All right. So your website is important in terms of the automation. Don't forget as well, you have Zapier integration that you can do in your software. So you just go to notification/automation. You can sign up for the Zapier account. Once you do, you can get the credentials for CDM. You just click on create Zapier credentials. Of course, you need to get the other programs or platforms that you're going to use so that you can get the API to add it in Zapier to create a particular task, right? So it's not just for lead generation. It could be that you're doing some kind of auditing or you're doing billing. You just need to decide what task are you doing right now that you would want to give over so that you can automate that as much as possible so you don't have to do it, okay? All right, perfect. Do I have any questions so far? All good? All right. Awesome, awesome. Okay, don't forget if you have a question, just post it in the chat. If you're not able to turn your mics on, okay? All right, perfect. So I promise I will not keep you too long. Another automation that you can look into is Twilio. I know most of you want the option to send out text to your customers. Having Twilio is a good option that you can actually use. This allows you to send out text, but of course, you might want a little bit more. And that's where I would say, check to see with Zapier how you can integrate Twilio to, let's say you want to make calls or something like that. That's another option you can look into, right? Some people, they just use Ring Central, but Twilio, as is, let's say standalone, you can add it into the software so you can send out text to your customers. You just have to go ahead and integrate the token and the SID. You have to get a company number. So you have to get a Twilio number. You can look in their backend to find a number that is within your area so that you can go ahead and add that. And then you just go ahead and save it. Make sure you turn on and off the messenger button. Once you do that, then you should be good to send out text. Remember, your customers tend to reply faster with texts other than emails, right? So you can have that option where if you want to talk to your customers and you want to send them a text, they can reply to you because you would have had Twilio set up into your software, all right? So that is another option that I want you to make sure that you look into when it comes to your automation. You should be looking out also for your social media setup, how you can automate that process. Again, as I stated, Zapier does make it easier. Let's say you have Facebook ads that you're running. You want for that person or lead to come from your Facebook into your software, probably into another program, into another program. You can set that up. You just need to think about the different applications that's there so you can streamline that, right? We're moving towards automation. Most of you, I think you have already set up your Zapier accounts, which is great. Hopefully you have done your audit for the first 3 months. We're heading into the next 3 months. So of course, by now you should have, or probably next week or so, you should have done your audits to see what your lead generation setup looks like and the tools that you've implemented so far, what they actually look like, okay? So it's important that you go ahead and look at the automations that you have set up, or if you haven't done that yet, look at how you can implement that for your programs, okay, to make your job so much easier. Again, you might have customers, not customers, but employees or outsourcers that is going to come in to do the work for you. Remember, I want you to make sure that if you're adding in any employee, you should be able to add them in, give them the permissions that you want. And once you do that, depending on what they should be doing, then that's the access that you give them, right? So you have to make sure that you come in to this back end. Do I have a question?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
And it's right on what you're talking about. I'm actually an employee, and I was trying to set up a personal walkthrough. And when I was trying to go through my account and set up a personal walkthrough, it's not letting me. Is there a reason for that?
It could be the permission. On your home screen, do you see where it says personal walkthrough?
Yes.
All right, from there, you should be able to go ahead and set up the session though.
Well, when I did, I click on it and it takes me to another link, and then I put in my information for my login. And then when I do that, because it tells you to log in, but when I put in my login to open it, when I go there,
right?
And then when I put in my account, well, because on the side right there where it says log in, when I put in mine, it won't let me log in. It's telling me I'm not.
No, don't log in from here. So you are going to select the time. Once you select the time, then you're going to go ahead to set the time zone, then you select the date and the time. That's how you have to do it. You don't have to click on login.
Oh, okay. That's why I was making my mistake in. Okay, then thank you.
Right. No problem. All right. So of course, you can schedule sessions as the employee, as the outsourcer. That's totally fine. You can do it from the training sections, training/help, or from your home screen. You can click on the personal walkthrough. Okay. All right, perfect. Do I have any questions? Any questions? Any other questions before I let you guys go today? We can wrap up real quick. It's hump day, so I wanted to let you go early today, okay? All right. All good? I think we are all good. Awesome. All right. So I hope, wait, do I have a question?
Could you please forward this presentation to me via email?
Definitely. I think I have your email address. Put your email address in the chat just to make sure.
It's in there.
Okay, perfect. Yes. So I will send you the replay. Yes, got it. So I'll send you the replay so you can go ahead and review this one, right? Before I go though, do I have any more questions? You need me to go over the disputing process or anything else before I let you go?
One other thing, I was not able to make the one yesterday. Is there any way you could go back and send that one to me also?
Sure, I can.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
You're most welcome. All right, yes, definitely. So I will send you the replay for that. Lawrence, I did get to see your video. I loved it. I just need you to go ahead and just repurpose that, okay? All right, perfect. Guys, remember, you guys should be networking with each other. Make sure you're doing that. Make sure you have joined the Facebook group. And of course, Lawrence does website setup and all of that. So of course, you can connect with him if you need to. Billy, okay. Yeah, I can send you that. That's fine. All right. Awesome. Hi, Pat. Okay, guys. I'm gonna let you go today. Hi, Pat.
Okay, so I'm gonna stop you right there.
All right, so I'm gonna let you guys go early today. Oh my God, you did? That's awesome. All right, so you see, you have to put the work in so that you can just, what do you, in terms of the videos that you're doing, is it like you're doing it for the month? So at least you have that set up. So whenever you're ready to release it, you're gonna release, or is it just 20 videos and you're releasing at one time?
Well, I'm going to be using it more as a for lead capture because it'll be 20 videos. It's basically it's all the same videos that Mark did for the email campaign that's in the software.
Right.
I took those emails and turned them all into whiteboard videos.
Yes.
So, people like the visual with it. So that should be a good magnet for leads.
Exactly. Because most people,
Basically, it's like a training class.
exactly. Most people tend to not want to read, as much as that sounds bad, but it's the truth. The video would be perfect, right? Most people prefer that. So that's something you can definitely do for your clients, all right? Pat is asking, how long is each of your video? Is it for Lawrence, Pat?
The shortest one is a minute and
Yes.
5,
And I
and the
keep
longest
describing
is
them
about a minute and a half.
eventually that
Minute and a half.
officer on
Cool,
the
just
passenger
curious.
side came over to assist on the driver's side. Is that
All right,
right?
perfect.
Yes,
Guys,
Okay, you said
if you
that
want to, Lawrence,
some
go ahead and
officers
drop
got
your
Mr. Floyd
info in there. So if they want to connect with you, they can, okay?
Okay.
All right, perfect. Okay, guys, so I'm gonna let you guys go. If you do not have any questions, remember, by now, well, between today and the weekend, you should have your strategy for your marketing for the next 3 months, right? So hopefully you've done your audit for what has passed and you're about to set up what you're about to do for your strategy. Yes. All right, thank you for that, Lawrence. All right, guys, so that is going to wrap up our session for today. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I do hope you have a good day. And then tomorrow, join me. We are going to cover a few more topics. And then, of course, Friday, that's the day that we do lead generation. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. You do have a great one. Thank you. You take care. Okay. All right. Bye-bye. I will send you the replays. Take care.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.